In a world where fall's embrace marks the arrival of cozy comforts, there exists an autumn icon that is synonymous with the season. The Pumpkin Spice Latte. Born in the halls of Starbucks, the PSL is celebrating its 20th birthday this year. But did you know that the famous Pumpkin Spice Latte was a drink that was almost never created? The story goes that in the spring of 2003, after the extreme success of the Peppermint Mocha, Starbucks' first seasonal blockbuster, the challenge was set before them once more. They needed the next sensation for the fall season, and it had to be nothing short of extraordinary. A man named Peter Dukes and his team gathered around, their minds buzzing with possibilities, in a mystical place known as the Starbucks Liquid Lab. There, amidst a brainstorming frenzy, they crafted a list of 100 beverage ideas. From this list of flavor, they carved out a top 10, and toward the bottom half of this list lay a humble creation named the Pumpkin Latte. Now here's where the story takes an intriguing twist. You see, back in those days, pumpkin spice wasn't the sensation it is today. It was an uncharted territory of flavor, a concept in its infancy. 20 years ago, nothing pumpkin existed in the marketplace. The only thing you could find in the grocery aisle was pumpkin puree, of course used to make pumpkin pie. That was it. And when Starbucks dared to inquire if their customers would sip on a pumpkin latte if they created it, the answer resounded like a disheartening echo. No, we absolutely would not drink a pumpkin latte. Yet the Starbucks beverage development team couldn't bear to part with the idea. They felt like they really had something here. They dared to dream beyond the initial rejection, and were given the green light to make 4 of the beverages on their top 10 list. But initially, there was a lot of debate on whether the pumpkin latte would be included in those 4 drinks, since customers said they weren't likely to buy it. But with some back and forth, they decided to give the idea a try, because they believed in the potential of it, even if others couldn't see it yet. The Liquid Lab, a haven for food scientists and visionaries alike, became ground zero for experimentation at Starbucks. Pumpkin pies filled their tables as they attempted to capture the essence of autumn in a cup. They would take espresso, pour it on the pumpkin pie, and then taste it, just to get a sense of what the flavors were like whenever they were mixed together. Some people took a piece of pumpkin pie and dipped it in the espresso and then ate it, for the same reasons. The consensus from these taste tests was, you know what, this is actually really good. Through this part of the development, they quickly realized it's a heavier body in the mouth, so their simple syrup base which they used in most of their drinks wasn't going to cut it. Instead, they decided to go with a sauce base for the Pumpkin Spice Latte, and thus the foundation of the famous PSL as you know it today was born. But the journey wasn't over. Starbucks once again sought the wisdom of their customers, this time armed with a sample of their new pumpkin creation. The response from customers was a symphony of yes, this is delicious, we would absolutely buy this latte. With their creation ready for the world, Starbucks chose 2 locations, Vancouver, BC, and Washington, D.C., as their initial testing grounds. What they found was nothing short of magical. Peter remembers, "We picked up the phone, called the store managers, and could hear the excitement in their voices. Looking at the sales data and hearing it in their voices, we knew we had something special. We started scrambling to see if we even had enough pumpkin spice sauce to get us through the promotional window we had planned on offering it." Yet the story takes another twist here. Starbucks contemplated swapping out the pumpkin spice latte for something fresh, something new, around 3 years after the creation. It was on the brink of a fateful decision when the world of Facebook and Twitter exploded in 2006. Social media breathed life into the pumpkin spice latte like never before. Memes, viral videos, and celebrity endorsements catapulted this humble creation into the stratosphere of pop culture. The Pumpkin Spice Latte was no longer just a drink. It was a cultural signifier, an experience that transcended its creator's wildest dreams. Countless imitators emerged, and a whole industry sprang forth, dedicated to all things pumpkin spice. Peter reflects with a laugh, "It's the most sincere form of flattery you can possibly get. 20 years later, the drink has really taken a life of its own." Now you may have heard the Pumpkin Spice Latte lovingly referred to the PSL, as it has been a few times already in this video. It's not just a convenient abbreviation though, it's a subtle nod to Starbucks coffee culture. While Pumpkin Spice Latte remains untrademarked, PSL belongs to Starbucks. But wait, believe it or not, the Pumpkin Spice Latte almost bore a different name. It teetered on the edge of being called the Fall Harvest Latte, Peter shares once again, "Before we launched, there was a debate on whether it should be named after the season. The name Pumpkin Latte also danced on the table of possibilities, yet in the end they chose Pumpkin Spice Latte because it encapsulated the symphony of flavors within, a blend of nutmeg, cinnamon, cloves, and espresso that told a story all its own." Can you imagine sipping on a fall harvest latte today? Somehow it just lacks the ring of that true PSL. So what exactly goes into the magic of a pumpkin spice latte? It's a potion brewed with espresso, steamed milk, and Starbucks' signature pumpkin spice sauce. A concoction crafted from real pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. Obviously the ratio is not revealed because it's a secret. A dollop of whipped cream crowns this fall elixir, all covered in a sprinkle of pumpkin pie spices. The question lingers, how many pumpkin spice lattes have been drank over the last 2 decades? As Starbucks' most cherished seasonal offering, hundreds of millions of pumpkin spice lattes have been sipped and enjoyed by customers everywhere. It's clearly more than a beverage. It's an embodiment of fall's warmth and nostalgia, a sip of comfort that has become synonymous with the season itself. So as you savor your next pumpkin spice latte, remember the journey it undertook, from humble beginnings to becoming an icon that bridges the seasons today. That's all I've got for you on the history of the pumpkin spice latte. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like content like this, feel free to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us on our journey, and I'll catch you in the next one.